Well, let's look at the subnationals now. ObioAkpor, which accounts for more than half of Port Harcourt's metropolis, is positioning itself as a hub for business and investment. Fresh from the Economic and Investment Summit, the council is pushing to improve the ease of doing business, attract investors and stimulate economic growth. Now, let's explore what, concrete steps are being taken to transform the local economy and create opportunities for businesses and residents alike. Let's talk to Dr. Gift Worlu, the chairman of ObioAkpor local government area. Great to have you on the show, sir. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm fine. It's great to have you. Definitely, we're seeing a lot of subnationals now, trying to, lift their own weight, when it comes to attracting investment. Talk to me about, specific policies or reforms, your council is implementing, to make it easier, for businesses to start, operate, and grow in ObioAkpor?
Okay, so thank you very much. First off, I'd like to say that I'm happy for this opportunity, and I want to thank you for yielding your platform to us this morning. First off, we believe that the time has come for society to begin to work together to solve shared problems, which will include tackling challenges and tapping into opportunities. And we believe also that the time has come for government, business, and other institutions to begin to see a point of interface so that each can benefit from the other towards building a more resilient, a more progressive society. And in ObioAkpor local government, under my watch, we are thinking differently, acting differently, believing that by so doing, we will also achieve differently and better. And so we have come up with a number of initiatives geared towards making life easier for the people, and especially the business community, because they contribute substantially to our revenue base, and they also are critical partners in anything that we are doing that resembles development. And if we sustain those relationships and we work together, we believe that over time, we'll be able to have a system where business people know what their role is in society, know, for example, what government is doing to assist them to function better, because they are job creators, they are producers of goods and services. And when all of these things are happening, we'll not only have goods, but we will have cheaper goods, and we'll have goods that are accessible to the people. So we are starting with the issue of how we collect revenue, how we collect taxes and levies from people who do business in our local government. Before now, it was done manually, where people go to those places to present them with demand notices and enforce compliance. But this time around, we want to go digital. We know that technology enables us to do these things better, faster, and easier. So we want to go digital, and we have come up with what we call the Digital Revenue Online Platform, DROP, for short, that enables businesses to register online, know what levies and taxes they are supposed to pay, know why they are paying what they are asked to pay, know when they are supposed to pay it, be able to generate their own receipts online, and then generally know if they have complied or not. And while that is going on, we also have real-time information as to who has paid and who has not paid, and who has paid for what, and what is left, and all of that. When we do that, we increase our revenue collection, we bring more people into the tax net, and then we eliminate touting and all other things that make even the payment of taxes more inconvenient for taxpayers. We are also working towards establishing what we call the ObioAkpor Chamber of Commerce, Mines and Agriculture. You agree that in Port Harcourt, in the whole of River State, there's only one Chamber of Commerce, the Port Harcourt Chamber of Commerce. And we think that the time has come for ObioAkpor and for even for crying out loud, other local governments within the area to be able to have Chamber of Commerces where people can come together and begin to think about what can happen in that local environment.
Right.
We are also pushing for, we have also presented our people with our blueprint for how we want to run the government in what we call the ObioAkpor Arise, talking about administrative excellence, talking about reforms, talking about infrastructure development, security and peace, and of course, developing and sustaining a robust and inclusive economy.
All right. Thank you, for painting that picture, for us. And, definitely when it comes to, at the federal level, subnational level, we keep hearing about how governments are digitizing, collection. They want to make sure there are no leakages. So everyone's going digital, at this point. But are there any talks about going digital when it comes to, service delivery, for the people, making sure you get a platform where the people can tell you what they need, when it comes to amenities? Are we digitizing that too? Or are we just looking at digitizing revenue collection?
We are digitizing our basic processes in the local government. I talked to you about administrative excellence. Today, we are trying to get to that point where even if I travel out of the state or out of the country, from wherever I am, I can still do my work, taking advantage of technology. That is possible. Today, we have what we call the ObioAkpor Information Center. And it's working like magic that people now, without having to come to the local government, can send in information, send their concerns, make requests, and all of that. And we can also respond to them in real time using those same channels. On Twitter, we are there, on Facebook, WhatsApp, and of course, SMS and all of that. And people can actually call in. A lot of work is going towards developing a proper ObioAkpor Information Center, which will house the facility both for the revenue collection and every other thing that we are doing. That is in the works. But yesterday, when I had my FRGPC meeting, that was one of the approvals that we made for us to set up the ObioAkpor Information Center. Even the issue of how we manage our staff and our payroll and all of that, we need to bring them under that easier system of things. All geared towards making sure that people who work and reside in ObioAkpor can very easily get services delivered to them without having to come to the local government council. And if they engage us, we try to see how we can speedily get things done, removing all the bottlenecks and the red tapeism that is associated with public service.
All right, definitely when we talk about, attracting local, foreign investors always want to make something, for their investment. Are there any targeted, incentives or programs, aimed at attracting both local and foreign investors to the local government area?
Yes, the first thing that investors want to see is that there's a framework that they can fit into. And so we're talking to our people about the need to develop specific infrastructure in the areas of security, in the areas of roads and all of that. And we're not just providing these things for the sake of providing them. We are providing them based on a plan that has already been articulated and shared with the people. And for example, we're talking about creating a chamber of commerce. This will enable people to cross-fertilize ideas and know what the gaps are and how we can fill them in an atmosphere where people are working together. What we call the Obaga United philosophy, where people united cannot be defeated, which was our campaign, mantra. Now, and I'm happy to say that the few businesses that have seen what we are doing are now coming out on their own willingly to want to register and be part of this thing, because they complained that in the past There are situations where after paying their taxes, for example, people still came back to disturb them, block their gates and say that they have not paid and they have to move back and forth and all of that. So, and then we're also talking about how we can help them, because people who are paying taxes, you'll be able to get some kind of benefit from the tax that they are paying. We're deepening that conversation around what local government can also do to them, for them specifically, in terms of their own specific needs, not the generic provision of infrastructure and all of that. And then we are providing incentive for early payment of taxes, for example. There's now what we call the early bird effect. Those who pay very early in the year, like between January and February, will enjoy some kind of rebate. And then those who pay maybe between February and April, they are paid within the time frame. And if you don't pay within that time frame, there may be penalty for that. And we're also thinking that when businesses operate in an area, they need to know the needs of the people in terms of employment, in terms of compliance with certain laws like the PIA, the local content, and all of that. The idea is that when they become such responsible, law-abiding corporate citizens, they enjoy a lot more benefit, because instances of youth restiveness and all of that will be arrested. We're talking with companies in our local government today about jointly tackling the issue of the skill gap in our communities, because we find that sometimes companies want to employ, but the local people don't have the required skill. So we're talking about what we can do to get these people to be properly skilled or upskilled, and then get them ready for the opportunity of employment when it will present. And the companies are saying that they are happy, that in fact, this is perhaps the first time they are seeing that the local government is going beyond revenue collection to talk about other things that are mutually beneficial to both parties. We're also bringing in
Right.
We're also bringing in universities and institutions of learning in the place to collaborate and also share their ideas. I'm coming from the university. Before now, I was a lecturer at the University of Port Harcourt. So I understand that there's a huge gap between what we teach in the university sometimes and what the industry actually needs.
Right.
So we're trying to see how we can bridge that gap in what is called the town-gown symbiosis, so that we can now have a system where everybody knows what is going on, what is expected of them, and of course, what we're expecting to have at the end of the day.
All right. So I guess it's not just book smart. We need business smart, people at this point. Thank you so much. It was great having this conversation with you, Dr. Gift Worlu is the chairman, ObioAkpor local government area. Thank you for coming on the show today, sir.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
All right. When we come back, we head straight to the global economy. Just stay with us.